Hi everyone, and warm welcome to a new video with me, Ivar Kristoffersson, the Soul Warrior Energy channel. And this one is about how can we educate ourselves and our children in this knowledge within. And how can we evolve in that by education? And I want to share the story behind because it's so interesting. And some weeks ago, I had a blessed opportunity to be at the Buddhistic funeral here in Sweden. And the last melody played by a man beautifully on guitar and singing was Circle of Life, Circle of Life. And then I had big outlet on my knees and feet for perching in this, it's energy coming out, perching the old. And on my left knees especially. I recognized the mark, but I didn't trust really. And then a client to me, Camilla, thank you very much, wanted information about Lemuria, and she even pays me to bring forward this information. And that's very grateful. Thank you very much. And I'm open if anyone else wants the question illuminated. Lemuria, education, okay. I started to remember a Kryon video I saw in January. I couldn't find it. It was a little disturbing, the notes, etc. So then I followed an impulse to go to the doctor and show my red marks. And I have to share this one. This was about 2 days ago. Here, we'll see this one. Here you see the mark on my left knee. You see an outer ring and an inner ring. And it's a little hard for me to see. I had taken a photo of it myself, but the first doctor was new, so he called in a second doctor and they carefully investigated this one. And the second doctor saw, oh, it's very special, this one. We don't really know, but in Swedish. And the spokes here, can you see the spokes between the first and the second ring? He told the other, and then I looked there and okay, I got the message. I got it. And they made a photo and put it to the infection clinic, but the mark is gone now. So nothing more has happened. They couldn't say what this was, but I can say what this was, because finally I got it. I got the message. And this is about education. And mainly, the most of this information now that I share is from Kryon, the Tom Carroll channel. And it's made in Hawaii, old Lemuria, in just before Christmas last year. And you can search it if you want to check the original. It's the teaching circle. Number 3, Kryon, the teaching circle. Return to Lemuria. And I watched it, found it yesterday and watched it. And I'm so full of joy for this and happiness. And to be able to share, and please share with others about this information. This is ancient knowledge that can give us so much in the coming future. So to make it a little short, I concentrate on this knowledge. Lemuria, of course, was the place where the Pleiadians seeded Earth some 200,000 years ago. Then there was a growth period, and then Lemuria, the period started at this island of Mu some 90,000 years ago and went on to 50,000 years ago. There's a little different time ages here, but I feel it was for 40,000 years, this period on Earth. And it's a very isolated in the Pacific Ocean at that time. So the Pleiadians could educate the humans that had at that time about around 50% active DNA, could be educated and a growth that was evolving without any disturbances from outside. And we had this big American solar eclipse starting at Lemuria and ending at Atlantis last year, 21st of August. As a sign about this knowledge coming up now with Jupiter and Scorpio now. So, to concentrate on the knowledge part, this is also to bring more evolution for our DNA, to relax and to learn and to evolve into for us in the ascension. So it's equally important for children as for grown-ups. I will put my presentation, and I truly feel that I was there at Lemuria as a Pleiadian mother. I have my moon at Pleiades, and this brings up so much memories for me. So we go into how can we educate ourselves and our children. So the Pleiadians were here, they are here, and they were here at that time, and the Pleiadian mothers made this for several 10,000 of years, and this brought up the human race here on Earth, this education. And it's one method, but it's a deep one. You can use this for all ages. So it's the wheel, it's the circle of life. And I want to start sharing how it's done. Okay, we'll see. That one I can close here. So, it's a wheel made in the ground, on the ground, in the sand, or on the mark, or inside down in our climate. And it's two rings, as you saw on my mark, on my knee, and 5 spokes. And this is the wheel, circle of life, and it's called seeking balance. Seeking balance. And in the middle, it's the great sun. And I want to change to that one. So this is called seeking balance. And that's what we do here to ascend, to seek balance between the polarities. We have so many polarities in life, in nature, in ourselves, in astrology, etc. That's the Libra archetype, seeking balance, harmony, and so we can really be ourselves from within. And the great central sun, I will come back to. This is, of course, our sun, but it's something more also. And then we have the spokes. And the children were sitting outside this outer ring in a circle. And the Pleiadian mothers were walking, educating outside the children. And they started anywhere, at new places all the time, and walked back and forth and changed direction, etc. So it's no place that is preferred, that it's first. No spoke is better or less than the other. It's a non-linear teaching method. If you have a linear, you have a start and an end, you have a time scale, and you have some hierarchy, something is better, something is less, that we are so full of, that we need to seek balance and heal here in the three-dimensional world. But this gives an opportunity to bring up non-linear quantum physics, creating from the infinite instead of starting and ending. And they started with the children at the age of 7. Before that, they had toys with this so they can play, but there was no education before. So started with at the age of 7, and together, male and female children up until 13 years of age, and there always was the mother with the children. And that's important so they could discuss the meetings, etc., the subject between the sessions. There was a ceremony starting up at 7 years of age, and then at 13 they divided into male and female groups and continued educating all the way until you left, the humans left Lemuria, and the age span was so much larger. The Pleiadian mother were there for 10,000 of years, the same, in a biology shape, because they had graduated and managed to solve the mysteries. And the Lemurian humans themselves lived for a much, much longer period than we do here. So, the spokes. Yes. So, I want to shake the spokes. And first, in the middle, at the great central sun, the children were invited, and if it was youngsters or grown-up, invited to put in gifts for every session in the exteriorated center, the great sun, a gift to honor the great central sun. And they can bring in toys, etc. I brought up this one for this recording. Some of my crystals and angels here. The spokes. And every session, class, etc. started with a number game. So let's the number game start, and then the number game decided which spoke to talk about. And it was a lot of dialogue between the children and the Pleiadian mother, also, or if it was youngster with the Pleiadian mother at that different level. A lot of questions back and forth and education in that way. And the spokes, they memorized also at the age of 7. Like our children now memorize the letters, memorize the numbers before they understand. So without any order, without any equal importance, no linear here. You can start with star steering, one spoke, star steering. Another spoke is center return, center return. Another one is the mirror, the mirror. Another one is the human God, human God. And the 5th is child life, child life. So at the age of 7, you can, the Pleiadian mothers asked the children, what is center return. Oh, it's going back to the sun, and you are from Pleiades. They knew, the Pleiadian has learned the Lemurian about the Earth circulating around the sun, giving seasons, etc. It's about that. And then they evolved the discussion around that matter. And for several years, it was after several years, the information was given that energy goes both inward and outward in these spokes. And we have empty spaces between here. And the children sitting outside and the Pleiadian mother walking back and forth around here, starting at any point. Kryon gave a deep interpretation here. And these I will share with you, with some of my own knowledge also. Can start with human God. No order now. No, equally important. Human God. The children said, yeah, it's a human becoming a God. The truth is that we all are God. We are all one, we are all equal, we all are gods. So you can come into many different subjects with that. For example, here we can discuss religions, we can discuss energy from physics, etc. The creation, etc., how we create, etc. We all are God. We can also try to understand the oneness, the universe, the central sun, the great central sun. That is not only the sun, it's the galactic center, sending information to us. And as everything is consciousness, this is consciousness, the great central sun. The knowledge and consciousness coming to us from within and from above. One spoke. Then we can check child life. But child life, yeah, to play, the children says. And the truth is that if we stay in the mind, the attitude, the joy, the happiness of a small child under 7 years of age, we will live so much longer. We will have so much more happiness. Jesus said, be as a child. And it's so important for our biology. You can come into health issues here, discussing that one. How is that working? Really working? How is this joy, the experience working if you study with older persons, etc.? How can you find the joy in an experience that is painful? And so on and so on. That was another spoke. Then we can check center return. And that one is reincarnation. That our soul goes back and forth here into the great central sun, our consciousness, the star seed, etc. Everything, the soul goes in this inward direction, but it's also going outward to the earth to land here in a new incarnation. The soul is in eternal reincarnation, center return. Another spoke is star steering. And that is astrology. And you can start really at my daughter Stella, she's 7 years old now, and we discuss the stars a lot already because she's so interested and she's so open to it. And astrology is working due to magnetic fields, and it's physics. It's not esoteric. It's really, really working. And that knowledge is here to evolve more into how, etc. And we can use astrology. You can learn astrology yourself for ages, not only one lifetime. You can, and this is such a deep subject for me, and you can see, as I have a channel, a quantum astrology channel. So one of the Pleiadian mothers teaching to the humans in the first period of Lemuria, this for 30, 40, 50,000 of years, was about astrology. To learn to use the stars to steer your life. Isn't that beautiful? And the last, but it's not any order here, the mirror. That everything is a mirror about what's happening. A mirror of ourselves. That's given in quantum physics. And this is perhaps the most mysterious of these subjects. It's, how does this work? It's the mirror of you that you see in another person. It's the mirror of you that you see in nature. So everything is a mirror. So these were the educations, and this was then made for children from 7 to 13 years of age, and then for male and female in different groups from 13 years of age and up to the humans left Lemuria. This was given by our parents, the Pleiadians, the Pleiadian mothers made this here. And souls from Lemuria are, for example, here on Earth now, under Mount Shasta. They have a city there in another dimension that we will, some already have seen, that we will come in contact with much more and more, because they use this fifth dimensional and higher, that time is only now. So they have solved the aging process, living in love forever. And they are awaiting our ascension, the Pleiadians, the people from Lemuria. And then after this long period of teachings, the humans on Earth were ready for an own evolution that came with Atlantis, and that still is ongoing now, to free ourselves. Then they came the hijacking, and then this freeing process. But this was needed to give the opportunities for humans to really find within. It's not possible only by chance. You have to have a teaching. You have to have a steering. And does our education system do this? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So we need to use this. And I'm really excited to do courses in this for young people, for youngsters, for grown-up. It would be amazing to share, and that we together grow in this knowledge about what is life really about here on Earth. So that is the Pleiadian teaching method and message to us from Lemuria. that we have within, and many of you that listen to this was with me there in Lemuria. So please share if you find this interesting. I'm so full of joy for this. I'm so happy. So thank you very much for listening, and be yourself.